for the Olympic 100 metres silver medalist.
Well, Lavillenie in this pole vault was out of sorts and carrying some injuries, we understand, in Lausanne, and I don't think things have changed too much for the former world record holder. It's a sorry sight. He was 8th in Tokyo, but landed really badly just prior to the games in a competition, and there's been a wounded warrior, let's say, his best of the day, 5:30, and you can see the frustration there.
Tokyo backed it up with his first Diamond League win in Lausanne on Thursday, and there he is, popping over nicely at 5:65. He really has gained in stature, hasn't he, the tall 23-year-old from Kansas City. Not so long ago, he was working in a cafe as a barista. That's how life changes. Seen him around the hotel a lot in the last 24 hours. Very, very relaxed indeed. A man who's enjoying life at the moment, both professionally and away from the track. Kendricks, who's had a mixed last month or so, of course, heartbroken to have missed out on the Olympic Games in Tokyo after testing positive. It's something that he's tried to keep really quite measured about in media press conferences, but you can just feel the frustration and dare I say, anger bubbling under the surface, certainly when he was speaking to the media yesterday. But ever the professional, still bubbly, always sees the positive in life. If ever
5 and 5:55 prior to that. Here is at 5:73. Ooh, gives it quite a clatter, and he looks up and he keeps wondering, and it stays. Been chatting with Sam last couple of days in Lausanne, and he very cleverly hiding his frustrations from being COVID kept out of the competition in Tokyo, out of the Olympic Games, but he's making up for it now. And Kendricks, well, he was a fine second in Lausanne behind Chris Nilsen, the Olympic silver medalist, who will vault shortly, but Kendricks maintains his perfect card, and with that has the lead on his own.
So the world record holder and the newly crowned Olympic champion, who said that having got that title in Tokyo just took so much pressure off his shoulders. He was expected to win. He did win, but goodness me. And then he showed that he is actually human after all, with a 4th place in Lausanne last week. He said that he just really made some poor decisions. Sometimes, he just said, you lose your brain in the heat of battle. His dad, Greg Duplantis, of course, who was a fine vaulter in his day, wasn't in Lausanne just to give him that little guiding, helping hand on the tiller. And Duplantis just said, yeah, bad day at the office, but the important thing is how you react. And here he is with a chance to atone in Paris. That's better. Well, he was getting the height, wasn't he, Tim? He was getting the height in Lausanne. It was just the penetration and the placement that was not there.
Getting the height? They'll have to give aircraft warnings soon. He was miles over that. Look, this should give us a better idea. Yeah, centre of gravity, many, many centimetres clear of that bar. He makes it look so easy. Fabulous to watch. And you watch other vaulters who appear just mere mortals in comparison. And they must wonder, how does he do it? It just comes so naturally to him, it just flows. So Duplantis, only his 2nd vault. 3rd man clear, Obiena going well. Now, Ethan Comment. Past the previous height, the Frenchman. No, that's not close either. Valentin Lavillenie then has had one failure at 5:73. 2nd attempt. And already has beaten his brother, who is far from fit, carrying injuries, and has finished down in 10th place. Harry Koppel, by the way, of Great Britain, missing his opening height at 5:30. But here's Lavillenie, 2nd attempt, 5:73. No. Well, that's a shame. He's very much a world-class vaulter in his own right. He's got 1 attempt left. He only cleared the previous height at the 3rd attempt. 3 men clear, remember, so far. That's all at 5:73. Duplantis looking very smooth with 2 clearances, two attempts and 2 clearances. Sam Kendricks, 4 attempts and 4 clearances. And Obiena, Philippines, cleared his last 3 heights first time.
Well, here is Casey Lightfoot. 3 Americans here in Paris this weekend. He had a brilliant games, did Lightfoot, finishing just outside the medals in 4th place. Still only 21 years old, very much the future of US pole vaulting on the men's side. And part of that close-knit group. Such a good community between the men's vaulters. All having dinner together, laughing and joking. There was a debate about what's the difference between a pullover and a cardigan, just as we were getting on the bus a couple of hours ago. That was quite amusing to listen into. Anyway, Lightfoot. Yes, nice. Really nice at 5.73. So second time clearance at that height. So he joins Obiena, Kendricks and Duplantis successfully over 5.73. But he did have a first time failure, so he's down in 4th.
Next event on the track, by the way, is the men's 800 metres. That's due off in about 5 minutes' time. Here's Chris Nilsen. What a great contest he had in Lausanne 2 nights ago. The winner there, the 23-year-old with 5.82 in cold, gusting conditions. Remember, he cleared 5.97 for that Olympic silver. And actually, fascinating, the night before last in Lausanne, several of his colleagues taking the mickey out of him because he hasn't yet joined the 6 metre club. They were going, oh, hang on a minute, 6 metres, there's somebody around here who hasn't done 6 metres. Who could that be? And he was sitting next to them, and they were roaring with laughter at his expense, and he was taking it on the chin like a real man. And he will be a member of that 6 metre club very soon. I mean, he's a huge fella. There's a lot of rugby clubs, I would imagine. Chris would look at Nilsen and go, yeah, we could probably find a position for him.
I'm sure they could slot him in. Yeah, 5.97. He only needs to find 3 centimetres to join that exclusive club. Here he goes.
Again, very, very efficient, good technician, makes it look easy. Enjoys practicing parkour, which is leaping from building to building or structure to structure or wall.
So let's go back to this pole vault competition, which is starting to bubble nicely. Lavillenie with his older brother there. What a shot that is, with Huno just watching on in that sort of elder brotherly way. Valentin will need a little bit of help from his old bro, because he's got one more attempt at 5.73. Last chance saloon. And Lavillenie there. Interesting that I mentioned Duplantis didn't have his father Greg in Lausanne, and in the absence he said it was actually Renaud Lavillenie. Let's not forget one of his rivals who was giving him advice, and here he is, just he's got his own personal wind gauge here, hasn't he? Just saying, okay, now's the time. And they can just feel it. They can feel when the wind has just dropped enough. And here he is, on the runway then. Valentin Lavillenie, 5.73. So here's the man of the moment, the man of the last couple of years, really, without peer. It's Mondo Duplantis, of course. Just waiting for the wind to die down. He said he's feeling relaxed and free. Just to give you an idea, the magic 6 metre barrier, 6 metre height we've talked about. He's only done it 26 times in his career. And there again, looking very, very comfortable indeed, is Mondo Duplantis. You shouldn't forget, he's still only 21 years old. He's pretty much achieved all there is to achieve. Undisputed world record holder, indoors and out. World champion, Olympic champion. Kendricks still in contention here. And when you see, as we did at the press conference, there are 2 of them, Renaud Lavillenie, Duplantis and Kendricks. You can't help thinking that it's the 3 musketeers.
Sam Kendricks then. second attempt for him at 5.81. Duplantis has gone clear. No, not for Kendricks this time. Can tell you Chris Nilsen has gone clear second time of asking. So Kendricks up against it now. Both Obiena in 4th place and Casey Lightfoot in 5th have had 2 failures each. Lightfoot will take his 3rd effort next. 5.81 would appear to be the crunch point for several of these men. Valentin Lavillenie ducking out at the previous height, 5.73. Casey Lightfoot. Well, he's the new lad on the block, so to speak, at 21. Just missed out on the medals in Tokyo. In this discussion the other night with the pole vaulters and the man who tends to be sort of the ringleader, if you like, Jeff Hartwig, or so many of the vaulters, leading the teasing of Chris Nilsen. Casey Lightfoot just sat quietly to one side, listening to it going on, learning the lingo, so to speak. Very enjoyable, these meetings after the major championships, after games or world championships. There's no great pressure on the athletes. Sure, they want to win, they want to perform well, they want to earn the dollars. But the major hurdle of the season behind them, they can really relax and enjoy themselves. And that often leads to better performances. Casey Lightfoot then, 3rd and final attempt at 5.81 meters. His lifetime best, 5.85. That was at the US trials, where he took 2nd place. In fact, he's counted out there. Casey Lightfoot is gone without actually clearing the ground.
Yeah, good to see. Yeah, good, sorry, Tim. Good to see Chris Nilsen there, just again acting as the human wind gauge, as we saw Lavillenie doing earlier on. Just further proof of the collective camaraderie between these pole vaulters. It's not forced, it's not manufactured. They do genuinely get on, they care about the sport, they help each other out wherever they can. Mondo Duplantis. Father Greg, not here again in Paris this weekend. And interesting that he was talking about really what the role of the coach is. You notice them when they're not there, is what he said. So, Obiena, with his 3rd attempt at 5.81, lying in 4th behind the 2 Americans. Still only 25 years old, from the Philippines. Training partner of the former Olympic champion, Thiago Praz. Here he goes then, last chance for Obiena. Oh, he's made it. Brilliantly done. Clutch jump there, and the crowd on that far side really enjoying that. They're in bright sunshine, having quite the time here in Paris. And Obiena really enjoying it. And we should say, Tim, as well, at all the press conference yesterday, the question about how important spectators are was asked of every single athlete, and all of them, as you would expect, they just said it is so important. And particularly in this event, they really feel the love, don't they, from the crowd?
Well, they do. That's a great pressure jump from Obiena, only a couple of inches from his lifetime best of 5.87. He will vault on the hot bar after this, moves up to 5.86. Here is Kendricks. Perfect card up to this height, but he's really hit the blocks here. First time clearances at 4 consecutive heights, up to and including 5.73. Now 2 failures at 5.81. Jeff Hartwig was advising Casey Lightfoot, having a chat with him anyway, after that's a last refused effort which took him out of the competition. Now Sam Kendricks, very experienced. Remember, Kendricks is twice world champion. He's the reigning world champion. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, you can see the frustration there immediately as soon as he saw the bar was down. Kendricks goes out and finishes in 4th place in Paris. Just wonder whether or not that frustration of not being able to vault as planned in Tokyo has sort of put the spanner in the works. And there he goes at 5.91. Oh, wriggles over that one. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Obiena. Well, that is a new personal best, of course, a new Filipino national record. He and Duplantis and Nilsen have all agreed to pass at 5.86, the three of them foregoing that height to move up to this. He's the first to go, and over he pops. And it throws the gauntlet down for Nilsen here next to go. Duplantis will go after that. But the Filipino, momentarily at least, is in the lead.
Nilsen then, how will he respond? Has to put down his duties as wind gauge and get back in action here. His first attempt at 5.91, no. Frustration for the big man from Kansas City. So 2 more attempts to come, but Obiena, what a vault. Really enjoying himself. Didn't see that coming. And it's not often you'll see Duplantis trailing Ernest John Obiena. Duplantis, of course, only finished 4th in Lausanne on Thursday. Last time he finished outside the top 2 or top 3 was Oslo in 2019. Here he is. Such a refreshing attitude then for me, Tim. Putting aside the disappointment, shrugged his shoulders, said, look, these things happen. I made some poor choices, perhaps selected the wrong poles for the wrong height. My dad wasn't here. You've got to move on. Let's move forward, not back.
Well, can he move upwards here and match Obiena's first-time clearance? Because, of course, these fellas have the gauntlet thrown down at their feet by Obiena's first-time clearance. Here he goes, only his 4th vault of the afternoon. No, it's not a good vault from Duplantis, rolling off to one side and off the bed. There is a breeze around the arena now, possibly a little bit stronger than it was an hour or so ago, but I don't think that's really upsetting them. They've got the crowd right up against them, almost in touching distance. But Obiena looking very, very strong at the moment with that first-time clearance. Bar at 5.96. Duplantis and Nilsen, remember we saw their failures at 5.91. They both passed any further attempts at that height, of course, having seen Obiena go clear. They're going for the win. Obiena, we saw just now a refusal from him. There he is to write a picture. Slapping Nilsen on. Great camaraderie amongst these fellas. It's a rarity, frankly, in sporting circles. Nilsen, this for the lead. No. Not yet, anyway. 2 more attempts. In fact, 1 more attempt. What am I saying? Is that 1 failure at 5.91? So there is real pressure on these fellas now. Chris Nilsen only had to do 5.82 to win in Lausanne in difficult conditions, but these are much better conditions.
Lovely sunshine, a slight breeze, which we think has got a little bit stronger, but still negligible compared to the other night in Lausanne. And this now is starting to get serious for Mondo Duplantis. So just to recap, first-time clearances for him at 5.55, 5.73 and 5.81. He then passed at 5.86. First-time failure at 5.91. Nothing to be gained by going for the second. So he passed his second attempt at 5.91 in favour of going a height higher at 5.96. So he has effectively 2 attempts at 5.96. And you can see the windsock there with just a sideways breeze, which has certainly picked up a little bit on the far side of the stadium as we look out from our commentary position. And again, it's, well, it's his surrogate father, if we can call him that, Bruno Lavillenie, in the absence of his real father, who is directing proceedings, using all his experience. Sadly, Bruno Lavillenie going out at 5.45, that ankle injury that he picked up just before Tokyo, still really bothering him. He's still very much involved here. Father figure to Duplantis. So just waiting for conditions to be absolutely optimum. The windsockers just drooped down. The wind has abated a little bit. So Obiena from the Philippines leading the way with that first time clearance at 5.91. He failed at 5.96. Here is Duplantis with his first of 2 attempts, potentially at 5.96. Yes! Would you ever doubt it? Now then, how dare you believe that I was struggling there? Now playing to the crowd. Come on, he's fired up. And he said, you know what, Lausanne, it's history. I've forgotten about it. Let's talk about Paris.
I'll tell you what, Chris, there was a lot of energy there too, wasn't there? There's more to come, and maybe that's what he's excited about, because he knows from the feel of that it was a really strong ball. It wasn't just a clearance at 5.90.
Getting it wily too.
Well, Obiena has had 2 failures at 5.96. Having taken the lead with that first-time clearance at 5.91, he then had to see Mondo Duplantis go clear at 5.96 first time. So he's had 2 attempts at 5.96. Chris Nilsen has failed twice at 5.96, having had a failure at 5.91. He's gone and out. So Obiena has guaranteed himself second place here. Here he goes, first and only attempt at 6.01. No, but he's going for it. He's going for it. And that implies real ambition psychologically.
Fed, or Hurd, was in great shape. He's slipping away.
So, Duplantis then. Here he goes, 6.01, familiar territory for him. The world record holder, the Olympic champion. And comfortable winner here in Paris with that clearance. Wins by 2 clear heights so far, because keep wondering, folks, the bar moves up to 6.06 officially, but will Mondo Duplantis here want it to go up to something perhaps a little more significant? The meeting record is 6 meters by Sergei Bubka, or at least it was, and that was 1985. So 36 years ago,